here and stuff.
Oh my god. Darrell, are you okay?
Come on, hurry up.
If you remember from my video on Celebrity Paranormal Project, I love all things spooky. So you might imagine that October is my favorite month of the year. Wrong. It's May, because that's when my birthday is and I'm incredibly self-centered. Halloween is my all-time favorite holiday though, and my goal is to spend the bulk of this month on scary shows, damn it. I mean, I know last week I did a video on Project Runway, but the lack of views on that one is pretty scary if you ask me though. I saw some family this past weekend, and my cousin brought up MTV's Fear, which seemed perfect for what I want to do this month, so thanks, John. MTV's Fear was the first paranormal reality TV series, and boy does my emo 12-year-old self have a lot to thank for it. This episode of Fear claims to take place at St. Agnes Hospital for the Chronically Ill, but in reality it's the Fairfield State Hospital in Connecticut. I guess the show, they were trying to deter people from exploring these places and stuff, but people figured it out anyway. The internet is a wonderful place. We soon meet our 5 heroes, Stephanie, Chen, Raquel, Darrell, and Jim, who are here to perform dares over the course of 2 nights. The 5 contestants arrive outside of the hospital in the creepiest way they possibly could, and Stephanie is so freaked out that she actually starts puking. And this is brought up so many times this episode for some reason.
I totally puked, I'm so sorry.
Well, Stephanie threw up.
She did?
Yeah.
I can't believe I threw up. How do you feel?
You threw up, so I can't compare.
We learn that there will be no film crew and that the show will only be shot by security cameras and the cameras provided to the contestants. There's a really gritty, Blair Witchy vibe to the show, which is unsettling enough on its own. Also, the more I watched this, the more I realized just how much Celebrity Paranormal Project ripped this show off. As the contestants settle in, they listen to a brief on their computer about the hospital, and shocking me more than it probably should have, the real-life Lorraine Warren pops up. A lot throughout the episode, actually.
This is just an overwhelming feeling of mental torture.
If you don't recognize that name, she's one of the psychics who inspired the Conjuring series. And if you could conjure up a like and a comment on this video, I'd greatly appreciate it. The contestants learn that they'll only be traveling through the underground tunnel system in the hospital, which is just so creepy. And they'll also be investigating Schuster Hall, Compton Hall, and the Welch Lab. During this experience, they must follow 3 simple rules. They have to use their cameras at all times to document what's going on. They have to follow their directions. And they can quit at any time, but they'll have to forfeit the $5,000 they stand to win at the end of this. Wait, it's only $5,000? I mean, that's a decent chunk of change, and I certainly wouldn't say no to it, but only $5,000? Really? Raquel seems the most excited about this money, too.
$5,000? Oh man, that's like so my college fund.
I fucking wish. Darrell and Chen are sent off for their first mission, which is to find their missing teammate. And it just occurred to me that Jim wasn't there that whole time. Oops. Knowing my luck, if I were on this show, I'd be the one who gets picked to sit alone in a dark, creepy room with a bag over my head and a straitjacket on. Oh my god. Jim should have gotten a bit more money for doing that, honestly. Raquel is assigned to be the navigator, and thus leads Darrell and Chen through the tunnels via walkie-talkies. On their way, they find a creepy-ass doll hanging from the ceiling, which is one of the bigger jump scares in this whole episode. Lorraine Warren shows up again for some reason, and Chen is freaked out already. This is going to be a fun experience for him, I'm sure. When they find Jim, Darrell's reaction makes me laugh harder than it probably should have.
Oh my god, this dude is in a straitjacket with a hood on.
Like, this whole episode, he just has these mild observations, and they crack me up every time. I don't know.
Yeah, man, dude was under a serious trance. Okay, if everyone wants to know, Darrell got the get out of him.
This one in particular reminds me of a certain Tyler the Creator video. Oh no, I hope I don't fall.
Oh no, I hope I don't fall. Hey, this dude is in a straitjacket with a hood on.
Darrell and Chen return to the safe house with Jim, who's pretty rattled by the experience, understandably so. For the second dare, Darrell and Raquel, which is fun to say, bring a pen and paper with them to the Compton Hall basement, which once functioned as a lobotomy room. On their way, Raquel admits that she's getting really scared, but Darrell gives her this nice little pep talk, and I just thought it was a sweet moment. I love Darrell. He's the best. He was my favorite.
I don't know how y'all guys can do this.
Well, I know you can do it.
I don't want to do this. I want to go home.
Hey, we can't quit, man.
Darrell is instructed to sit down on the lobotomy bench and do some automatic writing to contact the ghost of Emily.
That is where you ask a spirit to come through and write messages.
I don't really know what the exact story is with her. There was like some very weird Frankenbiting going on with the extra video interviews from other people, so
There was some kind of presence they thought was a ghost named Emily Matilda.
And these two young ladies came flying down screaming that there was an old lady in a white nightgown that was sitting on their bed.
There is just something sometimes that stays behind.
I don't know. I thought she was an old lady at first, and then they kept talking about how she was a kid, so I don't know. Oh, and what a surprise. Here's Lorraine Warren again. For Dare 3, Jim and Stephanie travel to the Blood Room in Compton Hall, where, as you probably guessed, there's just a big old pool of dried blood on the floor. We're told that a very gruesome murder occurred in here, but I guess no one cleaned it up after. I'm sorry, I'm trying so hard to not be as cynical as I was in my Celebrity Paranormal Project video, but it's getting real difficult at this point. Jim goes to the blood room by himself, where he learns more about Emily, who apparently was killed there, and Lorraine Warren shows up again to say that there's a lot of demonic influence in the room. While in there, Jim has to collect samples of the dried blood, and hello, biohazard much. I hope he had some PPE on him. Dare 4 has Chen traveling to the Tunnel of Echoes, which is such a cool name, right? Like, name of my band.
These tunnels knew too much. They knew all sorts of disaster and horrors.
He goes by himself to collect some ghost hunting equipment, passing these mass seclusion rooms and cages on the walls. Poor Chen is scared to tears, and it even seems like his walkie-talkie is struggling to connect to the safe house.
Hey guys, are you there?
But I have a feeling there was some producer meddling sprinkled in there. There also appears to have been an earthquake. I honestly don't know what's happening here, and it's never really addressed, so make with that what you will. Whatever it is that occurred there, Chen comes back to the safe house with the equipment covered in spider webs, and I am absolutely shocked that he doesn't quit right then and there. Thus ends night 1 of the fear experience, if you will. No, don't click off the video. The next night, our contestants receive Dare 5, in which they'll be bringing the blood samples and a Ouija board down to one of the mass seclusion rooms to perform a seance. Raquel is uncomfortable with the use of a Ouija board due to her faith, and she's the first person to quit the show. Guess she's not going to college. Chen directs the rest of the contestants to a mass seclusion room where they begin the seance. The team members direct their questions to Jim, who has been designated as the medium. Jim claims to be feeling the spirits, but nothing really memorable happens during this segment. As soon as they return to the safe house, Stephanie decides that she's done too, and despite the men trying to talk her out of it, she's gone. Now, either they skipped a dare, or the seance was a two-parter, or even more plausibly, maybe I missed something. But the guys announced that they're doing Dare 7, and this one, oh boy, this one. Darrell navigates Jim and Chen down to the morgue in Welch Lab.
I think you already know what you gotta do, man. Climb onto the tray head first. Lay down face up, just like a disemboweled cadaver.
And this is where I started stressing out hardcore. The other stuff I could probably do, but Jesus Christ, I would have the biggest claustrophobic panic attack of my life if I were in Chen's shoes. Luckily enough for Chen, it looks pretty spacious in there when he crawls in, but still, no thank you. There are not enough Lysol wipes in the world to make me want to do something like that. The 3 minutes pass, leaving Chen
so beat and busted.
The dares are over, and these 3 men are $5,000 richer each. But wait, there's more. The men get a chance to do a bonus dare for an extra $3,000, but neither Jim nor Chen are interested. Darrell, however, jumps on the chance. This man just seems so unflappable. For now, at least. Darrell is sent to investigate paranormal activity in the Compton Hall attic. He's told a story about a man named Carl who used to ring a bell up there and was later found swinging from the rafters. I wonder if that's supposed to be Carl that Darrell finds up there in the attic. It's totally not just a dummy or anything. After reading the activity on the EMF reader, Darrell hauls ass back to the safe house and naturally feels like someone is chasing after him. I can only imagine it's like some producer in a black body morph suit or something. I mean, that would also be terrifying. That would probably scare me more than a ghost. And whether it was a real ghost or not, Darrell makes it back to the safe house where he and the boys burn incense and receive their money. They discuss whether they think the place is really haunted or not. And somehow, after all that just happened, Darrell is the only one on the fence about it. So that was MTV's Fear, the show that created a whole new genre of reality television. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out so much. If you like this video, you might also like my Celebrity Paranormal Project one. I can't tell if I mentioned that video more than Lorraine Warren showed up in this. And if you have any other spooky reality shows like this that I could do, leave them down in the comments below and maybe I'll cover them in another video this month. And be sure to join me next time when I watch something else.